Namaste. It's Jacci. We're going to do a little bit of our yoga practice together today. So please take a moment and get what you need for your practice. If you have a mat, you can lie that out on the floor. Get some space, hopefully where you have enough room to stretch your arms all the way up over your head behind you while you're lying down. And then if you have something to pad your knees, I have a yoga blanket here, but maybe a thick towel or something. When we get on hands and knees, it's often nice to pad the knees. I'm sitting on a yoga block. You could, so if you have these things, grab them, and if you don't have them, you'll be fine. So take a moment, get settled. We're going to start seated. So if you close the door of the room that you're in, turn off your devices, give yourself a little bit of space and time for your practice so that you can take care of yourself for a little bit. So when we're sitting on the floor, it is often very helpful to raise the hips up. So if I take this block out from under my seat, you can see that when I sit down, my knees are up a bit, and it causes me to round my back and sink forward. So you can cross your legs, of course, any way that you like, and maybe you can stretch them out further. But if you raise the hips up, sitting on a blanket, sitting on a block, that can be really helpful. So then you can see when I'm sitting that now my knees are a little bit below my hips. They could be even with your hips, and this allows me to sit up nice and tall with a long spine, and I have less tendency to round my back. So get what you need so that you can sit up and that you feel fairly comfortable sitting, and then we'll rock around a little bit. Take a moment to begin to notice your body. So as you rock side to side, and you can let your circles go in both directions, you can notice your hips. And then come to the center. Try to lengthen your spine so that your shoulders are over your hips and your chest is lifted slightly, your head is back perhaps a little bit. And then she's upstairs checking on my dog. So we're going to start by doing some simple breathing techniques to think about our breath a little more. So let your hands touch your belly. And on your next in-breath, let your hands float out to the side. Feel your chest lift. And then exhale, bring your hands back to touch your belly and hug in your belly. Let the abdominal area hug in. And then inhale, lift your arms out again. Feel how the chest lifts and expands. And then exhale, touching back in, hugging your belly in. So this time, we're going to let our head turn to one side. So open your hands and let your head turn. Look at that hand on that side. Exhale back in, touch your belly, bring your head to the center, lower your eyes. And inhale, open to turning your head to the other side. And on the exhale, bring your head to the center, hug your belly in. You can touch the belly. And we'll just do once more to each side. So inhale, open your hands, turn your head to one side. Hug your belly in, touch, lower your eyes. Inhale, open, turn your head to the other side. And exhale back in, touching, hugging in the abdomen. And then you can let your hands rest comfortably on your legs. And inhale, lift your chin, lift your chest. Exhale, tuck your chin. Inhale, lift the chest, chin, eyes. Exhale, tuck the chin. Now this time, as you lift your head, also lift your arms up over your head in a big V shape. Spread your fingers, lengthen. And on your exhale, just let your arms float back down to your lap. Soften your eyes down, tuck your chin. As if the inhale lifts you up, as if the breath is like blowing up your arms like a balloon. And then engage the abdomen as you lower your arms and tuck your chin. And let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach up. And exhale down. We're just beginning to get this idea of coordinating our movement with our breath. So this inhale, let your arms float up to shoulder height, out to the sides. And on the exhale, we're going to let the right hand come over to the floor and slowly let the other hand drape over your head. Look up at the ceiling under your armpit. Let the inhale bring you up to the center, long spine, long arms, and then exhale, pulling in the belly, lean to the left and Let your right arm drape over your head, look up at the ceiling. Inhale, lengthening up. Exhale, belly in as you go to the right, look up. Inhale, center. And exhale to the other side, looking up at the ceiling. Good. Inhale up to the center. Now this time, we're going to exhale the right arm across the lap, touch your left leg, and let your other hand come back to the floor behind you. And then inhale, sweep your arms back up and out to the sides. And exhale, gentle turn to the right. Let your left hand touch your opposite leg. Again, inhale, sweeping the arms out to the side and up. Exhale, right hand sweeps across the front of the body, touch your leg and look over your shoulder. Inhale, center and lift. And then exhale over to the left again. Left hand across, that is, the left hand moving. And then inhale, center. And then exhale, both arms down by your sides. Inhale, let both arms float up to the sky again. Reaching, and then as if the exhale takes your hands back down. And just one more nice symmetrical movement like that. Inhale. And exhale. Do some little movements for your shoulders. Turn your head. And then we're going to stretch our legs out so you can remove whatever you're sitting on. I'm just going to take that block out. You can lean back maybe on your hands and stretch your legs out, letting each leg get a little bit of movement, circling the ankles. Maybe your feet were falling asleep. And then for the next part, we're going to come onto hands and knees. So here, if you'd like to use that padding under your knees, feel free to grab something to pad your knees. We're going to begin here in tabletop position. So the hands will be underneath the shoulders, and the hips will be underneath, over the knees. So all the joints stacked up. Spread your fingers wide, and on your inhale, lift your chest and eyes. On the exhale, begin to pull the belly in, so you start to feel the low back round, and then let your elbows touch down, bow your head toward the floor, sink your hips back towards your feet, and then inhale, glide back up to all fours, or tabletop. And then exhale, navel in, folding back, little rounding. We're hugging in the belly here on the exhale. And then gliding back up again to tabletop on your inhale. And again, rounding back. This time on your inhale, come up, lift your right leg back behind you. And on your exhale, lower your foot to the floor, tuck the toes under, get that gentle lengthening feeling in the back of the leg. And on your next inhale, lift your chest and that foot up, maybe about the height of your hip. And then exhale, touch your toes down, pull your belly in, and lower your eyes to the floor. And again, lift your foot, lift your chest, maybe lift your eyes. And exhale, touch your toes down, pull your belly in, look down. Now keep your foot on the floor and inhale your opposite arm forward, left arm forward. And on the next inhale, well, pull your belly in on your exhale. I skipped an exhale. And then inhale, lengthen that left arm and let your right foot float up off of the floor. Now on the exhale, pull your belly in. We're going to lower the foot and the hand toward the floor. They might even touch. And then inhale, lengthen your foot up, lengthen your arm. And then exhale, pull your belly in and soften down. Again, toes touching, maybe the hand even touches. Inhale, lengthen again. And slowly, one more time. No rushing here. And then lengthen one more time. This exhale, you can put your hand down, lower your knee down, fold your hips back. You may want to move your right wrist a little bit. That would be fine. Inhale up to all fours. And then back again one time. Belly in, rounding slowly back. Let your head bow, let your elbows touch. And then come up to tabletop and lift your left leg. We're going to put, again, the toes of that foot down on the floor and push back so that the back of the leg gets a little stretch. We're going to lift just the leg. So hold in place on your exhale, pull in your belly. When you get to the inhale, lengthen the leg, lift it off the floor, lift your chest, maybe your eyes. On the exhale, touch your toes back down, belly in, lower your eyes. Again, lifting the foot maybe to the height of your hip, not too much. Lift your chest and eyes. Exhale, touch the toes down, belly in, lower your eyes. Now this inhale, we'll take the opposite arm, right arm forward, eyes down. Hold on the exhale, pull your belly in, and then lengthening your arm, lift your left foot off the floor. Exhale, engage the abdomen, touch your toes down, maybe lower the hand a little, even touch the fingers to the floor. And then long reach out. Inhale. Exhale. So on the inhale, we're trying to lengthen. Lengthen the leg, push through the heel, lengthen the arm, maybe lift the eyes. And again, touch the toes down, exhale, touch your fingers down maybe. And last one, inhale back up. Now exhale, lower your hand to the floor, lower your knee to the floor. Maybe give your left wrist a little shake. Fold back to child's pose. Inhale to tabletop, lift your chest and eyes. Exhale, put your elbows down on the floor. We're going to do a couple of things here. We could move your wrists. So making a fist with the hands and doing wrist circles can be good, or you can just take the opposite hand and massage the wrists. You can let your hips sway. So this is puppy pose. You can think about your tail wagging, or if you are a cat person, you can swish your tail. And depending on how your shoulders and your neck are doing at this point in your day, you could stretch out a little further with your hands or your paws, since it's puppy pose, and let your arms reach forward, maybe even letting the forehead touch the floor. And then please come up to tabletop again, spread your fingers. So we're going to take the right leg back again. I'm going to flip around so I'll be facing you when we do the movement. So right leg back and let the toes touch and the heel push back. And we're going to lift the opposite arm again, but we're going to keep the right foot on the floor, and on the inhale we're going to lift the arm out to the side and open up toward the ceiling, a little twist here. And then exhale, slowly lower your arm, pull your belly in, let your eyes look down. And then inhale, let your arm go up again, keeping the right leg nice and strong. Exhale down, belly in. And then lift on your inhale and just hold here on your exhale. Keep holding on your inhale. So one more exhale. And this inhale, I'll give you the option of perhaps trying to lift your right toes off of the floor. Don't hurt your back. And on the exhale, let your raised arm come down and back out toward the front of your mat. And then inhale here. And if you didn't lift the toes, maybe you can lift them here. And now exhale down, putting your knee down. Fold back to child's pose. And again, feel free to move your right wrist if it's helpful. Inhale to tabletop. And folding back, nice even movement for the spine after the little twist. And then inhale up, and we'll do the same left leg back, and I'll just flip around so I'll be facing you. So left leg back, put the toes on the floor, push your heel back, and then inhale, right arm out to the side and up. And then exhale down, pulling in your belly, lowering your eyes. So you want to be nice to that right shoulder, so inhale, open any amount, maybe even turning your eyes up, but see how that feels for your neck. Exhale down, belly in. Here's where we're going to try to hold. So inhale, open any amount. Hold on the exhale, pull in your belly, maybe straighten the left leg a little bit. Inhale, keep opening. Exhale, hold. So we're going to stay one more inhale, and if you want to try, you can lift your left foot off the floor. And then on the exhale, take that raised arm down, reach it out toward the front of your mat. And maybe here on the inhale, you can lift your foot if you didn't lift it before. And then put your hand down, fold back. Feel free to stretch out your left wrist. Inhale to tabletop, lift your chest. Fold back to child's pose, lengthening the spine as you round back. And then push up again to tabletop, and we're going to come back to that puppy pose. Again, you can move the wrists, massage the wrists, swish your tail. And again, if it's nice for you to let your hands go out further, have them a little wider than your shoulders, and you can reach your fingers forward and maybe lower your head to the floor, your forehead on the floor if you like. Now, make sure that's okay for your shoulders and the low back. It's a big stretch in the back as well. And then push back up to your hands, and we're going to do a bigger dog. So that was puppy. Now we're going to do the full downward facing dog. So spreading your fingers down, tuck your toes under, and push up to downward facing dog. Start by walking your dog. So let one knee bend and the other leg straighten, alternating, noticing any sensations in the two sides. So lots of places you could be feeling this: your shoulders, your back, your hips, your hamstrings, ankles. And then try bending both knees as you exhale. Soften the knees, pull in your belly. And then when you inhale, try to lengthen the legs and maybe lower your heels to the floor. And again, exhale, soften the knees. Inhale, just lengthening the legs, any amount. Doesn't matter if the heels touch. We're just trying to get length. One more exhale, softening the knees. One more inhale, finding length. And then exhale your knees to the floor. Come down to rest. So in resting, you may want to put your elbows on the floor. You could come all the way down to child's pose, resting your forehead on your hands or on the yoga block. This is a good prop you could use here. If you have the yoga block, you could put that under your forehead. Take a couple of rocking, swaying breaths. How does it feel to be in this position? Good. And then for the next movement, we're going to stand up on our knees. So you can use the padding under your knees if it's helpful for you. So, and also, if it's nice to tuck the toes under, for some people that's nice for the ankles and it helps to balance. You can see what's helpful for you. So on the in-breath, we're going to, as if the breath is moving your arms, sweep your arms up over your head and lift your eyes. Wider arms can be nice if the shoulders are a little tight. And then exhale, lower your arms, pull your belly in, lower your eyes. And again, lift your arms up. Exhale down. We're just moving as slowly as we can. So let's do one more. Go as slowly as you're comfortable. Exhale down. And then another opportunity to do a twist here. So this inhale, lift up the same. Lift both arms up. And on the exhale, we're going to let the right arm sweep behind. Turn your chest to the right, left arm forward, and look over the right hand, everything long. And then inhale back to the center and lift. Go the same way. Again, exhale, belly in, turn right. Turn your head, your eyes. You feel that little squeeze in the abdomen. Inhale, center, and lift. Again, take care of your shoulders. Let your range of movement be appropriate for your shoulders. Exhale, turn, same way, one more time. Inhale, center, and lift. And then back to the first movement. Exhale your arms all the way down. Pull your belly in. Soften your eyes. Inhale, arms up, eyes up, lengthen. Exhale, lower your arms the same. Next one we'll twist to the other side. So inhale up. Now exhale, turn left, sweeping your hands back behind you. Inhale, center, and lift. Exhale, turn. Let the inhale bring you back to the center. Lift your arms up. Last one, pulling in the belly, slowly turning, right arm forward, left arm behind. Inhale, center. And then exhale, arms down beside your hips. 2 more times, forward and up. Inhale, up. Exhale down, belly in. You could take your arms out to the side. If that's tweaking your shoulders, you could just take your arms out to the side and down. Get some little back bend, starting to open up the spine here. Take your hands back down to the floor, and we're going to stretch out a few breaths in downward dog. So tuck the toes under, push up to downward dog, just a few breaths to stretch out after those back bends, maybe bending the knees here and just holding the bend in your knees. You can push down through your hands or then maybe walk out your legs like we did before. So just watch your pets. If you have cats or dogs, watch what they do, mimic how they do the pose. So their back knees are bent quite a lot, but you can see what's nice for you. And then please come down. We're going to lie down on the stomach for the next part. So the padding, it could be maybe you don't need to pad your mat to lie on your stomach. If you lie on your stomach and the hip points are a little tender, the hips need some support, pad that area, pad the hips. So come on down to your stomach. Once you come down onto the floor, you can rest your hands underneath your forehead. So you could maybe have flat hands. I'm going to use fists because it doesn't interfere with my microphone as much. So support your neck so it's comfortable. And then you can rock a little bit, or even bending the knees and letting the feet kind of flop side to side can be nice. Massage your quadriceps, fronts of your legs. And then put your feet back down on the floor. Again, supporting the head so it's comfortable and even. You're not turning your head to the sides. Bring your attention to your right leg, and on your next inhale, lift and lengthen your right leg without lifting your hip. And then exhale, lower that leg down, pull your belly in. Same leg again. So inhale, lift and lengthen that leg, like we did that little lift on hands and knees. Exhale down. And then left leg twice. So inhale, lift and lengthen your left leg again. Try to keep that hip bone on the floor. Belly in as you exhale down. One more. Inhale, lift your left leg, not your left hip, and then exhale down. Take a breath to notice the two sides, and then please walk your elbows up underneath your shoulders. And slide them in pretty close. You could even wrap the fingers around the outsides of your elbows. This can be a nice way to get the upper arm bones lined up. And then bring your hands forward with the palms facing down. Push down like you would for downward dog. This is the Sphinx pose. If this is tweaking your back, if it's a little too much of a back bend, just move your elbows forward a little bit. It'll cause your ribs to go closer to the floor, so you're not up so much. And then we're going to inhale and push the palms of the hands down to the floor. Feel your chest lift. On the exhale, just pause, pull your belly in, and feel the shoulders just soften down. This inhale, push your hands down and feel your chest lift and let your head turn to one side. Look over your shoulder. And then exhale, back to the center. Pull your belly in, soften the shoulders. Don't sink. Keep that length in your spine. Yeah. Inhale, push the hands down, turn your head to the other side, peek over your shoulder. Exhale, back to the center, pull your belly in. And go once more to each side. So inhale, push your hands down and turn your head and eyes. Exhale, center, engage the abdomen. Inhale, turn the other way. Exhale, back to the center. And then put your hands back down. Lower your head down. Put your forehead down onto your hands. Bend your knees. Circle the ankles. Let your feet flop a little bit. That is side to side with your feet. Notice how that movement felt for your back and shoulders. And then to stretch out our back after that, we're going to push back to child's pose. So please use your hands, push yourself up. If you need to pad the knees for this movement, please slide that padding under your knees. Come back to child's pose. Enjoy that rounding in your low back after those little back bends. Sway if you like. Breathe. Having wider knees here can also be more comfortable, so see what's good for you. And then push up to tabletop, all fours. Tuck your toes under, push up to dog pose.
pedaling out your legs once more, or again, maybe bending the knees like your dog does it. And then we're going to stand up on our feet. So walk your feet in towards your body. Come up to standing. Move your shoulders. Maybe give your feet a little kick. Yeah. Stand tall. So come to mountain pose. We're lining up the joints so the hips are over the knees and the knees are over your heels. And just like we did when we were sitting at the beginning, the shoulders back, palms might turn open to help facilitate that openness here. Maybe even closing the eyes for a moment. Just get a sense of how does it feel to be on your feet. Good. And then blink your eyes open, and we're going to do this version of moving mountain. This is a movement where we lift the heels up off of the floor as we lift our hands up over our head. So on your next inhale, sweep your arms out to the side and up, and as your arms start to float up, also let your heels float up off of the floor, any amount, and your legs are going to shake. On the exhale, lower your hands and see if you can let the heels touch when your hands touch your legs, so the heels come down really slow. So the heels don't have very far to go, so they have to move slowly. So let's do it again. Inhale up. Good. Exhale all the way down, pulling in the belly. Let the heels touch when your hands touch your legs, if you can control the movement that much. Good. So inhale up again. This time on the exhale, we're going to go halfway down. So arms halfway down, belly in, and soften your heels about halfway down. And then inhale back up, lifting the arms back up, lifting the heels back up. And then let yourself come all the way down, letting the heels touch when your hands touch your legs. If it feels a little challenging, standing on a firmer floor, I'm on my yoga mat, but sometimes that squishiness makes this hard. So step off onto a harder floor. Don't lift your heels as much. See what's helpful. So here we go again. Inhale up. And this time we're going to lower the heels and the arms halfway down again, belly in. And on the inhale, just let your right arm go up and lift your heels back up. Feel that shaking. And then exhale, belly in, lower your heels a little, lower the arm halfway down. And then inhale the left arm up. Good, and exhale, lower your arm, pull your belly in. Okay, and then both arms up, inhale. Don't fall down. And then exhale all the way down, letting your heels touch when your hands touch. Do some shoulder rolls, maybe do the hokey pokey with your feet. Put one foot in and shake it. Give a little shake to your legs and notice the sensations in your legs, maybe also the back. You feel your back muscles a little bit. So, and there is a sort of a back bendy quality to that movement, just like that movement we did on our knees. So to stretch out our back, we're going to do a little forward fold here. So please step your feet out about shoulder width apart. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see my back. We're going to have the feet so slightly wider than your shoulders. Bring your hands to your hips, and on your inhale, lift your chest. And on the exhale, we're going to bend the knees and bow forward. So first option is to just bow about halfway down with a nice long spine. And then inhale back up. You can slide your hands up your legs, come up with a nice long spine. So if it's comfortable for you, on the next one you can let your head bow down. For some people that doesn't feel good. It makes you dizzy and things. So on the exhale you can bend your knees and maybe you go halfway down and you just stay there. Or if you like, you can let your head just hang down toward the floor. On your inhale, begin lifting your hands first in either version, and then let your chest come up as slowly as you can. Good, and we'll do that again. Exhale, bend the knees, go halfway down. You could pause here, or you can let your head hang all the way down. And again, slide your hands up first to your hips, and then up with a long spine. And then exhale, soften your shoulders. And then please step your feet in to the mountain pose again. So hip width apart. You might imagine the yellow stripes on the roads. You could have your feet about that width apart. Please step your right foot forward. If you were on the stripes, your right foot would be on the right foot, on the right stripe. And then the left foot back. This is for the warrior one position. Keep your left foot over to the left in line with your left hip. So bend that front knee. We want the knee to be over the heel. So I'd like to bend my knee a little wider. So if I do that, my knee goes out over my toes. So I'm going to walk that front foot further a little bit forward. And then when I bend my knee, keeps it right over the heel. That's what we're looking for. On the exhale, straighten your front leg, touch your belly. On the inhale, bend your knees. Remember, we did this in sitting at the beginning. Feel the breath in your chest. Bend your knee. Let your arms float out. Exhale, straighten the leg, touch your belly. So we're going to do that 2 more times, and we'll just explore our breath and explore the movement. So inhale, bend your knee, let your arms float out. Feel the breath in your chest. You could even push your chest forward slightly. Hug the shoulder blades together. Exhale, straighten your leg and touch. And again, bend the knee, sweep your arms out. Straighten the leg, touch in. Now this time we're going to change what we're doing with the arms. So inhale, bend the knee, lift your arms up like a cactus so the elbows are bent and the hands go up high, still pushing the chest forward. And on the exhale, when you straighten your leg, bring your hands to your chest and just stack the hands up over the center of your chest. Again, bend the knee, open your cactus arms, push the chest forward, shoulder blades together. Maybe you lift your eyes. Exhale, touch in. Maybe you stack up your hands the opposite way. Good. Again, bend the knee, open. Exhale, touch. Hands heart center. Good. So this time we're going to lift the arms up even higher. So bend the knee. See how it feels to lift your arms up over your head. And then exhale, lower your arms, straighten your leg, lower your eyes. Good. Bend the knee, inhale, lift. Straighten the leg, lower your arms. Last one, we're going to hold the pose. So on the inhale, you can bend your knee and you can lift your arm into any one of those positions. Maybe you like that one out to the side. Feel that nice opening in the front of the chest. Maybe you like the cactus arms. Maybe you like your arms high. Feeling the strength and power in your legs, that steadiness of your feet on the floor. Couple more breaths. When you get to your next exhale, let your hands come down. And if you like, you could do the downward facing dog pose here, or you can come up to standing with me, give your feet a little shake. And if you're standing with me, we're going to swing. If you're in downward dog, you can pedal out your legs and move as you like. So moving the feet about hip width apart, wider than your hips, and then let your arms swing and your head turn. This is called empty coat sleeves, and we just let the arms wrap around, tap the back, turn your head, turn your eyes, and try to let that back heel rock up off the floor so you're moving your hips too. And if you did choose downward dog, go ahead and make your way up to standing and come up and stand with us. And then come to mountain pose. Step the feet back in, lining up the joints, stand tall. Take a moment to notice. Maybe even closing your eyes. So we use our skill of interoception to be aware of how we're doing. How do you feel in your body? How do you feel? And then open your eyes, and we're going to do the warrior one pose on the other side. So again, we'll keep the feet hip width apart. Please step the left foot comfortably forward and the right foot comfortably back so that your heels are still lined up with your hip bones. And then we'll do the test bend like we did on the other side. So we want that knee over the heel on the bend, and if you want more bend in your knees, you can certainly adjust the width between your feet. And exhale, touch your belly. Here we go with that hugging in on the abdomen on the exhale. Inhale, bend the knee, sweep your arms out, palms up, push your chest forward, feel the breath in your chest. Exhale, straighten your leg, touch, hug in. And inhale, open. Exhale, touch. One more in that position. So bend the knee, inhale, open. Maybe you see your fingers over in your peripheral vision. Exhale, touch. And then we'll do cactus arms. So bend the knee, cactus arms, lift, push the chest forward, shoulder blades together here. And exhale, straighten the leg, pull your belly, and touch heart center this time. Stack your hands up over the center of your chest. Bend the knee, open, no rushing at all. You're welcome to be breathing slower or a little faster than me. but as slow as you can. Inhale, cactus arms. Exhale, touch in. Maybe you're alternating the way you're touching your hands. All right, so we're going to inhale the arms up over our head this time in any position that you can, that's comfortable for your shoulders. This exhale, just lower your arms down by your sides. Pull your belly in. Again, bend the knees, sweep your arms up. How does that feel for your shoulders? Exhale. And the next one, we're going to hold the pose and any of those arm positions that you like. So as you bend the knee, you can sweep your arms back and low and push your chest forward. You can do cactus arms, soft shoulders. You can reach up. Still aware of your powerful, strong legs, the support of the floor, and the smoothness of your breath. When you get to your next exhale, let your hands come down. Again, you're welcome to come down and do downward facing dog pose from here, or you can step your feet together, give them a little jiggle. You can shake your hands. If you're standing with me, we'll swing. You can let your arms swing. So one thing you can do with your neck here is to let your head turn with your shoulders and try to actually look at the floor behind you. Another thing you can try is to turn your head over the opposite shoulder, a little stretch for your neck. So see which is nice for you. And if your neck is just not a happy neck, you can just look forward and not turn your head at all. If you came to downward dog, come on up and join us. All right, and then coming to standing, we're going to repeat that forward fold we did earlier with the feet a little bit wide. So you might have them shoulder width or even a little wider, depending on what's comfortable for you. And again, you can bow halfway down or let your head hang. So we'll start with hands on the hips. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, bend your knees, slide your hands down your legs. Feel free to pause halfway or let your head just hang on down toward the floor. Inhale, slide your hands up to your hips first and then glide up with a long spine. Don't rush. Again, exhale, belly in, slide on down. Again, halfway is fine, or you can let your head hang if it's appropriate for you. And then hands up first. Inhale, you want to come up slowly, especially if you tend to get dizzy or you have low blood pressure. Come on up very slowly. One more time. Exhale down. And then last one, slide your hands up slowly as you can. Come up. That's the inhale. Good. And then step your feet back in. Give them a little shake. For the next part, we're going to lie down on our back. So if you can make your way down onto the floor, any way that you get down is fine. You can lie back on your back. When you get onto your back, you may find it quite nice to bring your knees into your chest and to circle your ankles, especially after our standing poses, our tiptoes. Go both ways. Ankle, wrist circles too. These are nice for the joints and also soothing for the brain, these joint rotations. And then maybe just shake everything. Shake your hands, shake your feet, shake off all that more vigorous movement. And then we're going to try to begin to settle in some slower movements. So please let your feet come down to the floor one at a time. Walk your feet out to the edges of your mat. Or even wider if you have long legs. So the feet should be wider than your hips. Take an in-breath here. Exhale, let both knees fall to one side. We call this windshield wipers. See what you notice in your hips and your low back. Inhale, lift your knees to the center. And then exhale to the other side. See what you notice. So depending on your range of movement, inhale up. You could go over, just a few inches, or you can take the knees over a long way. So see what's helpful for you. Inhale, center. Pulling in the belly there. Exhale to the side. Sometimes I like to play with the movement much smaller. So I inhale, center, and maybe I'll go over about 6 or 8 inches to one side. And then inhale, center. This, for me, I get a lot more awareness of my hips and the hip flexors and my low back when the movement is smaller. when I do a large movement, then I feel it in my, quadriceps and the fronts of my legs, so then that's somewhat distracting from what I feel in my hips and my back. But see what's nice for you. You have to find your own practice. You have to find your own movements that work for you. So the next time your knees go to the right, please stay to the right. And depending on how that feels, especially in your hips and your knees, you could use some support under the legs. So if that bothers your knee or your hip, you could grab something and put it under your leg. Either you could also support the inside of the left knee as well. Begin to notice that left side. See what you feel. Perhaps you like to stretch your left arm out to the side. Nice open feeling in the front of the chest. Maybe both arms out to the side. Or even letting your left arm reach up over your head. And then one more option here, which is not appropriate for everyone, I'll say. The right ankle can rest on top of the left thigh. So for some bodies, this is a helpful, pleasant stretch. For some bodies, it is not. So if it tweaks your back, if your knees hurt, then don't put your foot up there. And then breathe. When you get to your next inhale, if you did place your foot up on top, bring it down, bring your arm down if you lifted it up, and then let the knees come to the center and pause, letting your hips and your shoulders even out. Still the feet pretty wide, and we're going to let the knees go to the left and hold, and now we'll be stretching the right side. So again, any support that's helpful so that you don't feel this in your joints, in your hips and your knees. Put a block under your left leg, put a block under the inside of your right knee, that's always good, or a pillow, whatever you have. And just begin to notice the sensations down the right side. And then maybe both arms stretch out, nice open feeling in the front of the chest. Maybe your right arm goes over your head. Maybe you place your left ankle on top of your right thigh, but please be mindful if that is good for your knees, if it is good for your back. For me, I'm about 50-50. Some days good, today not good. So see what you feel. Breathe slowly. So now when you get to an inhale, let your foot lower down if you have it up on top of your leg, and let your right arm come down. And again, bring your knees up to the center and center your shoulders, center your hips. You may even want to kind of pick your hips up and place them back down so they feel even, and then walk your hands in toward your your feet toward the center so they're lined up with your hip bones. So after the twisting movement, we want to do some symmetrical movement down in the hips. So we're going to do a few bridge poses. So we'll place the hands palms down, and on your in-breath, push down through the heels, let your hips rise up. Let your neck be neutral, look up toward the ceiling, and on the exhale, lower down, pull your belly in. So you don't want to turn your head, especially when you're lifting. So inhale, push hands down, lift hips up, and exhale down. So just noticing how that feels for you. If you are comfortable going up and down, you like that, do that. Inhaling up and exhaling down. And if you want to hold the pose, you can stay up. Please notice your knees. Keep the knees in line with your hips. Try not to let them splay out to the two sides. So there's a little bit of hugging in toward the midline with the legs, the adductors. If you're still holding, maybe coming down on your next exhale. If you're going up and down, stay down. And then draw your knees into your chest one at a time. So pull one knee up and then the other. Now massage your back. So several ways you can do that. You can sway side to side, or you can make circles with your knees. You want to find the movement that is soothing and comforting for you. Maybe moving the knees together is interesting, or maybe moving the knees in different
ways. So maybe you're circling the knees, but one knee goes one way and the other knee goes the other way. Just see what's helpful for your back. And then let your feet come back down to the floor one at a time. Let your feet come slightly wider and the knees touch, if that's comfortable for you. For some people that's not helpful, but for many people it puts the back and the hips in a pretty comfortable neutral position. You don't have to have the knees touching. For some people that's awkward. Be comfortable. Rest your hands on your belly or somewhere on your body. And either close your eyes or just choose one spot to focus your eyes. And then let your breath be free. Don't try to control your breath. Just breathe normally. Begin to settle. Notice the weight of the body on the floor, the weight of the head, the weight of the arms. And as we shift toward this resting part of the practice, our Shavasana pose, the corpse pose, we want to be comfortable. If it's comfortable for you to stretch your legs out on the floor and you lie flat and that is comfortable for you, that's fine. If it's not comfortable, feel free to keep the bend in your knees or to place support under the knees, a pillow, blanket, or even to prop your legs up on a cushion, on a chair, on the sofa. So for many people, this is actually quite restful for the legs. So choose the thing that's helpful for you, and then you can keep your hands on your body, or you might enjoy just stretching your hands out to the sides. Closing the eyes if that's comfortable for you, or maybe draping a little shirt sleeve over your eyes, or some of you may have eye pillows. Let go. Let go of the effort now, the effort to move your body, the effort to breathe. And allow yourself these few minutes to rest. So this is a way to integrate the information from your practice, from the poses, from the breathing. Just as important as the rest of the practice is to do the relaxation at the end. So I'll say a closing prayer. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be at ease. May we all be safe. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. And may we all live with ease. So I encourage you to continue to rest here for the next 5, maybe 10 minutes, at least 12 breaths if you feel anxious and you're ready to hop up. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.